time for love. Everyone is happy. Power 95 makes this season come to life. Spirit of the season on Power 95. 95 reasons to make this Christmas bright.
Power 95, the spirit of the season. The views expressed in the following program aren't necessarily those of Power 95. Ladies' Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited, agents for Western Union, and Beacon Insurance.
It's time to do better. Beacon's Be Better Group Health Plan now offers new and improved options that make health insurance affordable for small to medium businesses. Good medical cover gives you a competitive edge and takes care of the people that take care of your business. Get a better plan to build a better business. Call Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they are prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
And we're back. Y'all just missed out on a really nice interview if you weren't here. You really, really did. Like I say, I know with the daylight saving time, we're definitely gonna remind our friends and family to set their alarms, set their reminders at 10 a.m. That will be 11 a.m. my time because of the reset in the clock. All right. So I know some of you were caught off guard yesterday. You completely forgot, and you got in here late. All right. So the regular viewers and listeners, don't forget to shoot them a message if you don't see them for whatever reason, or share the live itself so it'll be in your feed, and you guys will get to come on in on the show. All right. Anyways, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Good morning. Who is here with me already? Maureen, Eve, good morning. Eve back, you're welcome. Marianne, Karen, Cheryl, Queen Bee in the building, Linda Pearl, good morning. Patsy, Christelle, good morning. Shante, Karine, Marvelyn, Naz, Lewis, Rita Williams, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Shauna Dakota. Good morning. Who else is here? Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Val. Yeah, you guys missed out on a really nice session with Jefferson Ramirez getting ready for his concert on Saturday. My God, I got chills listening to him, you know. His vocals. Ooh, Saturday's going to be a great show. Morning, Ramos. Good morning, everybody. Yesterday live was a comment. Val, you got the old live yesterday, the dead live. You didn't get the live. She was commenting when she realized it was not live. Usually when it's live, you'll see a little thingy at the top which says live. If you don't see that, or you'll see Power 95 was live. So make sure you check that first. Otherwise you'll get caught. Good morning, Julianne. Good morning, Michelle, Spicy Sweet Pea. Good morning, Tamasha. Donna Springle, London on the check-in. Whitner, talking about London on the check-in, Mr. Wayne. Like me and you turn what's his name? Sheldon Douglas. We sleep like in leg or something. Hey, you ain't checking this morning. What's going on with you? Hey. Are they really doing thing? Yes. I just realized that, you know, I have some regular people that check in every day. Rajjakai, I saw you sent where you going? Where you text me and said there?
You are the reason I listen.
Oh, that was when I was playing the song this morning. Morning, Rajjakai. Yeah, so shout out to all my listeners, Pierre the barber. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Time knock you out. Good morning, Jay. Tamasha, everybody. Welcome. Shirley Japal, good morning. Nasha, good morning. Nasha Douglas. Oh, yeah, Nasha, I ain't seen you in a minute. Hope all is well, though. Shirley, good morning. It's early for you in London. What time is it now in London? It's 3 p.m. instead of 4. So in London, do you get 5 hours or 4? Y'all time always confuses me. Is it 4 hours or is it 5 hours ahead? Um, Giads, how does that work? Morning, Crystal. Morning, Hermelin. Good morning from New York. I'm not seeing the name, just as Facebook user. Yes, so how does that work? Do you guys get more time or less time? Morning, Natalie. So it's like 3 p.m. instead of 4 right now. Yeah, y'all time always tie me up. It's 5 hours. Okay. 5 in winter. Oh, okay. Got you. All right, got you. Yeah, so good morning, Benedict. 5 hours ahead. And before it's like dark. So 4 hours ahead of Grenada. Now that's a good response, Wayne. Keep it up. Uh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, go back to doing what you were doing. That's a very good response. Nice. Yeah, you may proceed. Don't make me disturb or distract you from doing what you're doing. All right? Fantastic. All right, morning, Marlene. Good to have you guys. It's 4. Okay. So it's 7 minutes gone past 11, and we're back in the room. Now, let me just tell y'all what the scenario is this morning. And it kind of goes back to yesterday. But let me explain why I say that first. So, this person here says that she's been with her fiance for almost 4 years. He proposed in March, and listen, that wasn't meant to distract you. Go back and do your work and go back to do what you're doing to do what you have to do. Yeah, so this person says, I've been with my fiance for almost 4 years. He proposed in March, and we finally picked a wedding date for next August. So that'll be 2023, right? So a few weeks ago, she gets a message from a woman who claims that she has been sleeping with her fiance for the last 2 years. Story come to bump now. And she says she knows about me, of course. They are friends on social media. She didn't consider our relationship serious due to his involvement with her until she found out via Instagram that we are getting married. All right. So she said, initially, I questioned whether this woman was being completely truthful. Just didn't want to believe my man would do this to me. So, of course, you'll need some evidence, you'll need some receipts. So she asked for receipts, and Homegirl sent her screenshots of pictures, of messages, and even recorded voicemails. So my girl says she was broken and she just couldn't believe the man I considered my best friend would stab me in my heart like that. You're trying to tell me 2022, you don't realize this problem and then would do anything? That's a little bit naive on your part. So she says she's a believer in thinking before reacting. So her question is, should she tell him that I'm leaving, or should I just do what I plan to do and bounce, leaving nothing but a copy of her messages? My mom seems to think I should be upfront. And I agree with your mom. After all, this is somebody that you've been with for 4 years. You guys got to the stage of him proposing and planning a wedding and whatever in life together. Not that you owe him anything at this point, but I just think the principle about it, let him know. Let him let him stew in his conscience for a while, but let him know. It's like people just take pleasure in playing games with people, and then you hear, oh, women is this, women is that. And I saw some of the messages. I was reading some of the messages yesterday regarding the lady who was playing truth or dare with her husband and confessed to having 12 partners. And people were going on and on about, oh, that is too much, and men want pure women and women who are closest to Jesus's hem, and as opposed to women who've been with multiple partners. But have you guys ever stopped and thought about this? Y'all come with all kind of gimmick, all kind of story, and a woman falls for it, thinking that you're being real, you're being upfront, you're being truthful, that she's getting into a relationship that will later move to another level. When a lot of you know that's not what you want. You just want to have coitus with the person, but you don't say that because in your mind, if you're upfront, you're probably not gonna get. So you keep stringing people along, and after a while, lady realizes, you know what, this ain't what I signed up for. It's not going. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. I'm not happy. This person is mistreating me. They're verbally abusing me, even physically. All sorts of things you can think about, but you decide, you know what, to end the relationship. And it's not that you want to move on to a next person. It's not like, I mean, yeah, there are exceptions to the rules where people just, jump from here to the other. But most of the times, you get into a relationship with good intentions, thinking that's what it's going to be, only to find out that's not what it is you thought it would be. So there you are with partner number one. And then you're like, okay, after a while, let me try again with somebody else. And the same thing. So it's one, either you get involved with somebody and it don't work and you remain single for the rest of your life, or you keep trying in your head, okay, let me try this person, maybe I'll get my knight in shining armor, my prince, Charlie, Harry, whatever. But again, it don't work that way. So some of you in the audience or under that live, under the post yesterday, will making it seem like you just jump from people because you could, and not understanding that a lot of the times you get into relationships with good intentions, thinking it's going to work, and new problems come with problems and lies, so you have to start all over again with somebody who does the same thing to you, because you might say one bitten twice shy, or you might say, okay, you know what, I've learned my lesson. But then you just can't read people. They are very good actors. There are people who would come to you and they would really and truly make you believe that they're for real, and their intentions are so pure and they're good for you, and they're the best thing since sliced bread. So you give that person a try, only to find out they might be worse than the person you dropped in the first place. So it's one, either you stay and fight up with the person who mistreating you, or you move on to somebody else or to somebody else until you find Mr. or Mrs. Right. But a lot of the times, men don't take responsibility for the fact that you are the ones who lead people on, lie, give all kind of false impression, false hope, and women fall for it time and time again. So I'm seeing a lot of men. Yesterday, I was so tempted to do another lie, but I'm like, you know what? Let me leave it alone. So many men talking about they want pure women and one key and master lock, when some of you are serial daters. You all go around just having sex, serious sexual predators, just having sex for having sex sake, and to add to your numbers. If women were to think the same way, there are men who've been with over 500 people. If women were to think the same way, then nobody would be with anybody. So sometimes it's the hypocrisy that gets to me. It's like nobody takes responsibility for the role that they play in any given situation. There you are going into getting into a woman's life but under false pretenses and lies. And then when she leaves and goes to another situation thinking that is the one, the same thing happens. But then she still gets blamed for having two or three or four or five partners. When you are the one contributing to her having, if you just be straight up and real and say, like, you know what, I just like you, like the sex, let it be on her to say, nah, I'm not into that, or friends with benefits. But a lot of the times you'll give the impression that you want little picket fence, two little patong in the yard, a little rabbit, some lettuce in the in the backyard. Y'all come under all these false pretenses because you know that is what women want to hear. This is what women look for: security, stability. But y'all take absolutely no responsibility, none whatsoever. Listening to some of you men yesterday, reading some of the comments, y'all made it seem as though you're completely innocent. You had nothing to do with a woman's choices. She just get up and decide, you know what, I'm going to sleep with 12 men for sleeping with 12 men's sake. I'm just going to be with 12 men. I'm just going to be with you today and drop you tomorrow. And you did nothing wrong. You've been the perfect man, husband, whatever it is. But you just decide to be with another man. It's the hypocrisy. And then you all want the Virgin Mary. After you've damaged and destroyed so many women, now you want one that's completely untouched when you are responsible for where a woman is at her stage in her life. Well, partly responsible. We both have to have equal shares of the responsibility. Can't be only his fault. Because you would say, you know what? If only you could see through the BS. But there are some people who are so good at acting, they would make you believe, even though sometimes in your mind you doubt it, they'll make you believe that's not what it is. You see $5 on the ground and they'll convince you it's 100. So there's responsibility to go all around. There's blame to share all around. It's not only the woman's fault for deciding, you know what, she's had 12 partners, it didn't work. So she kept trying and trying, hoping she'd find the right one. After 12, she met husband. Husband wants to play truth or dare. Then decides, you know what, I'm not happy with the fact that you've been with several partners. And now we're trying to understand, like, how did this come about? Or because men who she thought were for real or thought were princes turned out to be frogs. So explain to me how you all still want the purest of women, but you are going around damaging women. Explain that to me. You would see a woman you've been with, and if you probably somebody else, or that or good, I was with that, I lead that. It's like it boggles my mind the way how carefree and careless we are about people's feelings. It's like it means nothing to you so long as you get what you want. And then the woman still is the bad one after doing what she thought was best for her at that point in time, based on what you said and the things that you promised. And sometimes women come in and they give some of y'all the entire life story, how they were mistreated, how they were abused in relationships prior. And you'll be like, oh, I never do that. I'm the one to treat you good. And then some of y'all tell about worse. And that is the sad part, knowing what somebody did to you and telling the person you're dealing with what you've been through. And that person turning around and doing even worse to you. And women are still to blame. Help me understand this. Like, really. A bunch of empty promises. And after you waste your time 2 or 3 years, you move on to the next victim. State your case. You can't get everybody. If by you being truthful you don't get a person, then oh well, there's somebody else. There's somebody for everybody. You being straight up and saying this is what you want, it's either yes, no, maybe, I'll think about it. But let her make an informed decision. Not you misleading and getting her under false pretenses. How about that? So that sort of ties in with today's situation. So homegirl wants to know if she should tell him or not. Tell Jim Screechy what she knows. Like I said, 4 years together, you guys planning to get married in August. I think that you should. You don't have to, but I think that you should. Maybe a conversation is warranted. Someone also said, it's so easy for us to just throw away relationships. The first sign of problems, you're like, I'm gone. And nobody works through stuff anymore. Nobody gives second chances anymore. Well, some people kind of see what second chances is. They say, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, and fool me a third time. There are situations where people give second chances, and trust me, boy, they should have stopped at one. But they give chances. Before the lady provided her receipts, I probably would have said, you know what, she's just being malicious. She's with getting married and she's in her feelings. But if homegirl came prepared with screenshots of pictures, messages, and even recorded voicemails, I would really love to hear how you take yourself out of this, what his defense would be. Just for that, I would have a conversation with him, just to hear his defense. Or maybe before presenting the receipts, like ask him, are you sure you're ready for marriage? Are you sure you're faithful to me and me only? Set the trap. Don't just make it that easy for him. Ask him questions to hear what his response would be. And if he doesn't confess or own up to him having, relationship with somebody else, then drop your receipts. But we ain't talking last week, guys, 2 whole years. So you're in a relationship with somebody. We ain't talking about a little fling, a little, okay, one for the road, I get married, so let me throw, something on before I settle down and be, a good husband to my wife. We ain't talking about last week. At least he could have come with an excuse. I just decided to because I'm getting married, and I'm like one for the road. 2 whole years is a whole relationship outside your relationship. 2 years. 2 whole years is a relationship outside of your relationship. I said last week or last month or 2 or 3 months, That's 24 months of him having a whole relationship with this person and you not knowing. So imagine if homegirl didn't see y'all engagement on social media. You would have gotten married in August, not having a clue what's going on, and homeboy would have continued his relationship without you knowing that you have a whole relationship outside of your relationship. What Terrence said? Listen, Terrence, Jada, and Will and Gabriel Union and Dwayne could do anything they want. That is rich people problems. But scrunting people like us, no. We ain't struggling. I don't struggling already. I ain't gonna struggle in relationship. No. One struggle is enough. Jada and Gabriel Union could afford, and Will and them, that is rich people thing. They could afford to forgive, they could afford to play how you call it thing they just have? They have open relationship where they see one another and they come back in because they don't have to worry about what type of butter they eating with their bread tomorrow. Or which side they didn't have enough butter, so which side they need to butter. They could both sides of the bread butter. They don't even have to think about it. That is rich people thing. We can't do that. I can't be struggling and used to bringing problems in my life and I have to struggle twice. No. Pick a struggle. Of course he's gonna have excuses. And you know the famous line is believe what you want. Anytime you confront a man about something that he did and he doesn't give you a response, but if he gives you a response and he tell you believe what you want, trust and believe it. Believe that he did what you said. Believe that he did what you said. Anytime they tell you believe what you want, trust and believe they did what you said. Because they have no defense. And it's too much work to lie and to maintain the lie. So believe what you want. So whatever the situation was, whether you saw them somewhere or you heard of them doing something and you bring it to them and they tell you believe what you want, believe that it happened. Because they don't have a defense. Marlene says, can we just try being better humans for a little bit? What's wrong with people who have rabies? I don't know. Hugh says, in a relationship, people need to be clear on what is acceptable and what is not. Once that is stated and understood up front, then whatever the road issues can be dealt with. Whatever happens, there is a solution. Maturity is required in relationships. Someone says, my advice is don't ever give a second chance to a man, a woman, because this is a guess not worth attempting. So I would say hell no. And Donna said, but she too old to fight up with man and relationship. Single life is no headache, no stress. Listen, just so you pack up your pillow and them in the morning before you go to work, when you come back, they're right how you put them. Same position. They don't move. They ain't going nowhere. Your pillows never lead you wrong yet. So sometimes it is a better bet for real. And so many are saying that, sometimes it's just easier to remain single than to deal with all the stress that comes with it because there's no perfect relationship. Of course, there's gonna be problems. You don't want to be in a relationship where everything is like you're walking on eggshells, right? You can't express yourself, you can't say how you feel, it's just perfect. You would get bored. Sometimes you just want to go lick a cuss out, clear your chest. I mean, not disrespectfully, but just keep the fire burning. You want to be in a relationship where everything nice and yes dear, no dear. Yes husband, no husband, yes boyfriend. No, that's two different people with different ideas, different feelings, different everything. You can't have this kind of boring everything you say I agree with and everything you say I agree with. That's boring. All right, let me see. I'm telling you how they quiet this morning, so you hear them man and them quiet this morning? Now money they all up in it. You hear them this morning? What is to do with woman? You hear them? You hear the silence? You hear it? It's deafening. I ain't hearing him this morning at all. Like, all in have data, or all in have electricity. Where that man this morning? Nobody can call in and tell the lady what to do. Whether to tell the man she know what going on or she go about your business and don't say a word. Someone says this one is simple. If you love your man, stay with your man, discuss and move on. If you can't get over it, bounce. It has worse cases in this place. You don't need so you don't read last week ladies' rule. Someone says I'd confront him and show him receipts. Don't play games. It could be a lie. Vindictive people have nothing to lose. Furthermore, I'd call her on a speakerphone while he's there to verify if a relationship truly exists, because marriage is a serious thing to get into. In fact, I'd be wondering if he also has a child. If that is true, plain and simple, and I'd move on from there, no sticking. This is a marriage you're getting into and need to know the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Someone says, and now the other side. So the sister Oh wow, no recalling names. Hold on. Yeah, them man and them quiet this morning. Bad. He ain't them papa cricket in the room. Someone says, so that sister of Satan knew that y'all was in a relationship and that she was still with him for 2 years. She had no problem that he was the both of y'all. As stated, she knew y'all was in a relationship. But now that you hear about wedding, oh yes, it's time to pull that pin on the grenade. Why didn't she try to rectify this love cocktail before now? Women are women's worst enemy sometimes. Almost every woman is advising you to pack and leave. I'm willing to be the outlier here. Lady, confront your man. Get everything out in the open. Everything out. Talk things over, talk things through, work things out. If you love your man, then you'll need to work on this problem and proceed with your plans. JC Bells. JC Bells. JC Bells come in all shape and form and color and shape, sex and form and color and shape. Too many times, our first instinct is to drop everything and run. Not every problem encountered in a relationship needs to be the end of the relationship. It's tough, but with some serious and honest conversation between you and your man, this relationship can be salvaged. Cutting and run is not always the best option. Worse have happened between couples, and those same couples have worked together to mend and heal and then gone on to have long and lasting life together. If it's a mutual agreement to part ways after trying to work it out, so be it. Just the other side. So someone here is encouraging them to encouraging her to talk to her first. So Miss Ellis comment saying to leave and always sit down with no ring and eating hand for years. I'll have no filter, no chill, no nothing in this room, I swear. All this comment saying to leave and always sit down with no ring and eating hand for years now. Stop it. Woman, he believes he decided he wants to marry you. Some men behave that way before they're married because, as the saying goes, you're single until you're married. You're a grown woman and you should know that. You should know what you can handle versus what you can't. Relationships aren't always smooth sailing every day. Think about how he has been treating you these 2 years. He was cheating. Did things change or was the treatment the same? I'm assuming it was the same because you didn't know and had to hear it from the woman. Understand what you can deal with and then make a decision. If you decide to leave, just know it ain't easy out here. You may leave bad and get worse. Ah, boy. Y'all promoting a lot of toxic relationship, but one doesn't go into a marriage. Someone says, and this is why there are so many toxic relationships and broken marriages. One doesn't go into a marriage knowing their partner is an infidel and accepting it. Bet your bottom dollar that if the shoe was on the other foot, he would cut and run long time. Suggesting a woman or man stay in a relationship where they are being disrespected is just sad. People don't need significant others to be happy. Staying single is better for peace of mind than being in a relationship where there is mistrust, resentment, and hurt. She's not even married yet, and you're suggesting she accept this behavior because marriage will change him. So what kind of the jail kind of recommendation is that? No, leave that for Patricia and Ricardo Drew. You have a point. The big one too.
You can lie with an next lie, so better see pack and go.
Someone says, and that is why women remain in relationships where they're being treated less than they deserve. People keep making excuses for men instead of holding them accountable. Yes, it's a fact that relationships are not always smooth sailing, but when did cheating for 2 years become a norm and acceptable relationship tribulation? Because they're not married, it's okay for him to cheat? Think about how he treated her for the last 2 years. He was cheating. For me, the fact that she had no idea for the entire time says a lot. If he was able to hide that so well, she will likely always have issues trusting him. And that's a hell of a world to live in. Oh boy. The way we're going, a lot of us gonna be walking up the potty gate by ourselves, yes? Ain't going together at all. Someone says, go ahead with the wedding plans, let him pay for the entire wedding, send out the wedding invitation to his family, and don't show up. No explanation, no meaning. Just find somewhere you can heal in peace without the back and forth. You come first no matter what. Bring those messages, leave them pictures, and let them two battle it out. Start your healing process and move on. In my opinion, that's a no-brainer. This person says, for which you got a right to bounce. What's the other option, really? To stay and get married next August? I think not. Oh, boy. Someone says, I say, tell him you're leaving and why, and thank your lucky stars that you found out before you tied a knot with him. Tell him to get married to that friend instead, as obviously she doesn't mind sharing him with other women. Says you're not even married and this is what you're dealing with. If you stay and God forbid walk down the aisle, you'll only be wasting your time because you're going into a marriage knowing that this man, this man cheated on you. Give yourself grace, grieve the loss of the friendship, and find your happiness in yourself. At the end of the day, the decision rests on you alone and not mommy, Facebook, or anything else. Pack your Georgie bundle. Leave his ring if he was given in contemplation of marriage, which shouldn't happen, and move on with your life. You ain't even get him back no ring. That going and pawn and sell and take a little trip somewhere and rest your mind.
You can lie with an ex lies, so better see pack and go.
Good morning. I just reached. Anyway,
Okay, lava brother.
now, girlfriend, between me and you, I think you need to have a one-on-one chat with your intended, and just start off with a case where before we get married, let me just put everything on the table and see what is the answer or response you will get. If you will confess the certain things that he did or didn't do, but make sure you're back, brother, because why you worried about you might have more behind. So make sure you're back broad and make sure you do a little heart check and make sure your heart good, because you might get more surprise and then your heart might be able to take it. So go by the doctor first, do a checkup, and then confront him. Have a little one-on-one talk that you want to get everything on an open table before you all get married. And see if you're going to confess to you. See if you go bring out, you little thing that you playing and thing had in the past 2 years and see what will go on. If that comes and it, you all had the all chat and thing and that didn't reveal, then start to pelt your receipts and thing and confront him, because at the end of the day, men is men, and some of us just do it thing, but
Like I
if
say,
it's a case where you're gonna get married, at least you would like to know, you could trust him. And if he went down that road, at least he could say, well, listen, yes, I did. And, I want to come clean and that we start on our fresh slate when we get married and stuff like that. But if he confess, I mean, you know what to do. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you, Leah, man, but you have to pick sense out of nonsense and
it's big and she have
see
sense.
if it's worth it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if he do anything and he can't confess to you based on your one-on-one conversation with him before you all get married, then you need to leave that alone, And me, I ain't looking for no virgin, and I looking for a Ninja Turtle. So any Ninja Turtle available to me, because yeah, say no more.
Listen, go do your work. You seriously need to go do your work. But you're looking for Ninja Turtle. Anyways, I think that's all the time we have this morning. Ooh, it's water outside, boy. Oh, Rain for so in the city. Anyways, thank you so much, Beacon Insurance and Western Union, for checking in for another day. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for another show. Thank you, everyone, for checking in. Thank you for your contribution. Truly appreciate it. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.